Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKudash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of every millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom. This is Brother Dawada from GMS Detroit Camp. Coming at you with another video through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKudash. Today I want to do a quick hit going in on the topic of vainglory. The Lord's will this video be edifying. All right, now, recently, as of late, you have the bishop, like Deacon Asaph. That's how he says the bishop's name for whatever. Well, it's because of his accent. But he said within the video, if you don't know why I'm making reference to him saying it like this, because he said, "Keep the bishop's name out your mouth." You know, 'cause anytime you get on a great bishop,
But it wasn't just talking.
All right, anytime you get on them, they have a problem with it. They have a problem with it. Look at
to be faithful to the people that assign them to that position. This is why we don't steal your money. This is why we're not buying Bugattis and Bentleys. This is why when brothers and sisters donate, we say what we're going to do. Everybody understand that? This ain't about...
I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but if you look, they're all in the same uniform. Similar t-shirts, similar garments, all right? Think about where's all this money going to? All this money that they use to get the same shirt, same garment. You know what I mean? Why do they have a dress code? A certain uniform that they all have to wear. They have to wear the exact same thing. See? What scripture says all the disciples wore the same garment. It doesn't say that. It's not about trying to look flashy. It's not about trying to look fly. And it's not about that. It's really all about teaching the word. Scripture speak about, and they shall be dressed in sackcloth. Let's get that. Revelation 11:3, I believe it is. Revelation 11:3. And I will give power unto my two witnesses. In the macro level, those two witnesses is the northern and southern kingdom. All right, in a smaller level, all right, or more accurate level, those two are Joshua the high priest, all right, and the other is Joshua the high priest, and the other one was Zerubbabel. Okay, but in the macro level, it represents the northern and southern kingdom. And they shall prophesy 1,203 square days, clothed in a sackcloth. When you go into this word for sackcloth, the Greek word is sakos, which means what? A garment of the like material, and clinging to the person like a sack, which was wont to be worn by mourners, penitents, suppliants, and also by those who, like the Hebrew prophets, lead an austere life. See? The material of garments made of it, worn as a sign of grief. You see? So it's a garment worn in mourning. All right? We're supposed to be mourning, sorrowful for the things that we committed, the wickedness that we committed on this side. All right? We're not out there to look flashy and try to garner attention and, be glorified. This ain't about us.
Us becoming fat cats. Is that the terminology? Back in the day, fat cats. Getting paid. Y'all understand that. This ain't about that. This is about getting God's work done. And we are sincere in it. We ain't like no other camp you've seen before.
All that is all a cult of personality.
What we do, God got us doing that, brothers.
Look at them, all in the same kind of dress. Just imagine if you. Now, we don't know I don't speak for myself. I don't know who all these proceeds for all these similar garments are going to, but it's a lot of money being racked in because they all have the similar garments. So imagine, let's say you wanted to get a new PlayStation. Your PlayStations, those that make PlayStations, the company is called Sony. So Sony's bringing in all this money from all these people buying PlayStations. So just imagine it on this side. Whoever or whomever it is they have making all these garments, that's a lot of money coming in. because everyone has to wear the same garment. And then the garments, they're not even, it's flashy. It dazzles. It dazzles. It's fly, right? But we're supposed to be wearing a garment worn for mourning. You see brothers, they got a simple garment on. Now, let's say you want to wear a flashy garment. Is that wicked? No, you're not sinning. Scripture say, where there is no law, there is no sin. But what is the point? We're not out there to be glorified. We're not out there to look good. We're not out there to, to look all flashy and fly. It's not about that.
We don't play, brothers. We don't play. And we need you brothers and sisters.
You see all of them, they have on the, these things. I don't know what these are called. These things right here. They got the chains on. They got the whole shbedazzle look. See? The whole look. It's not about being flashy. It's not about trying to look good. Now you may say, well, you sound like you hate Enoch. Well, let's see what Yahushua said. Matthew the 11th chapter in verse 7. And as they departed, Yahushua began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, that's John the Baptist, what went ye out into the wilderness to see? Because they wanted to see a prophet, right? It says a reed shaking with the wind. Yeah, in other words, John the Baptist wasn't a weak guy. He was a rough guy. Rough. All right? He had a rough look about him. He ain't look like no Bishop Pork Chop, clean shaven, hair slicked back, everything all, dazzly, looking, pristine. No, he had a rough garment on. He was living out there within the wilderness. So he was a rough guy. All right, you look at it, okay, this guy, he ain't like, let's say you walk into a bank. You don't expect to see the bank teller to be in those shorts, a fitted cap, all right, to have a beater on and a couple chains on. You wouldn't expect that, right? Just imagine you go into your local church. You go in there just to see what the pastor got on. And the pastor, he got on some joggers. You'd be like, wait, what? What's going on? Because people, they think that the prophets are supposed to look, they're floating. They got on these crazy bedazzling garments. They literally glow. No, it ain't like that. This is a reed shaking with the wind. He was a rough guy, right? But when we out for to see a man clothed in soft raiment, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses. See? And how was the garment of John the Baptist like? It was a rough garment made out of camel's hair. But when we out for to see a prophet, yea, I say unto you, and more than a prophet. See, the prophets, they wore rough garments. So we have another scripture. Zechariah 13:4. It shall come to pass in that day that the prophet shall be ashamed of every one of his vision when he have prophesied. Neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive, showing you that the prophets in the ancient world wore rough garments. All right? Brothers, nowadays we wear garments out of very cheap material. Very, very, very cheap material. Not no bedazzly garments trying to look fly, trying to look good. We'll look good in the kingdom. Well, that's when we're going to look good. All right? You have Jake, they come out with T-shirt fringes because they want this. It's fashionable. They want to look good. It's thinking about that. All right? You have certain Jakes, they want to accumulate followers onto themselves. They want to try to be deeper than deep. All right? They want a large following behind them. That's not what this is about. All right? It's all about teaching the word. All right? So I'm not just simply getting on IUIC. But look at these other camps with the T-shirt fringes. We're supposed to be wearing garments. All right? And moreover, you have these individuals trying to draw away disciples unto themselves. Trying to sound deep, trying to be deep. Acts 20 and 30. Also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things as false doctrine, to draw away disciples after themselves. It's like after them. You have these individuals saying they're ministers of the new covenant. You know, they're already in the new covenant. All right? These individuals are going off and they want to draw away disciples onto themselves. They want a following. That's not what this is about. It's not about trying to be deep. It's not about trying to be the flashiest Israelite. All right? It's not about trying to come with some new revelation, a new breakdown so you can, get a following. It's not about having a large following. What are we commanded to do? That's the purpose of this video. Keeping it simple. Ezekiel 3 and 1. I'm going to close out with this. Moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, learn these scriptures, and go speak unto the house of Israel. That's it. All praise, honors, and glories be to Yahweh, Bashem, El Shai, double honors to my apostles and elders, Ray Millstone, peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.